I really don't like the phrasing in this article. What it says is the guy was in his car and for literally no reason, the cop just shot him. That's what this reads like. That was the impression that I got. That's not really what happened. If this story had happened and the cop shot him without saying anything, I feel like you would be in here arguing. You'd say, how was he supposed to know the cop was gonna shoot him? It's France, they rarely ever shoot people.
He himself in that situation.
He put everybody in that situation. He put the passengers in his car at risk. He put everybody in traffic at risk.
He didn't force the cop to be that aggressive about
it. He kind of, yes,
right?
He actually, in a way, he kind of sort of did.
To say, I'm gonna shoot your head. No, he didn't.
To take serious action, yeah, that's what police officers are for.
Serious action is doing, it's doing a lot of lifting, right?
What is he supposed to do? Punch the car?
I think still pointing the weapon is okay, but saying I'm gonna shoot your head, that's way big.
There's been more unrest across France just hours after hundreds gathered in Paris to farewell the French-Algerian teenager whose death at the hands of police has sparked days of unrest. Tens of thousands of officers, including specialist police, have been deployed to cities across France. The situation appears calmer after 4 days of violent protests. Sporadic clashes have taken place, including in Marseille, where police fired tear gas on protesters as street battles unfolded. The French president has been forced to cancel a state trip to Germany to deal with a crisis.
Protests are sweeping France. Here's what you need to know. France has been rocked by a wave of protests after a 17-year-old youth was shot by police near Paris on Tuesday, sparking a ban on demonstrations in some cities. The unrest prompted a crisis response from French President Emmanuel Macron, who held an emergency meeting with ministers as he attempted to bridge divisions and unite the country in his second term. What sparked the protest? Police officers shot dead the teenager Nahel, who was of Algerian heritage during a traffic stop in the Paris suburb of Nanterre, I don't know how to pronounce this shit, earlier this week. Footage of the incident captured by a passerby showed two officers standing on the driver's side of the car, one of whom discharged his gun at the driver despite not appearing to face any immediate threat. The officer said he fired his gun because he was scared the boy would run someone over with the car. Nanterre? I'm not going to try. Prosecutor Pascal Prache said, Prash said that it is believed the officer acted illegally in using his weapon. He is currently facing a formal investigation for voluntary homicide and has been placed on preliminary detention. What's happened since? Protests have been carrying signs that read, "The police kill," and hundreds of government buildings have been damaged as Nahel's death taps into anger over racial bias in the country. Wait, so the guy is already being prosecuted. What are people protesting for? Successive nights of violence across France and its overseas territories have in turn prompted French officials to launch a crackdown. It's France, they do this every 6 months. At Destiny, no reason, the French are retards who just burn their shit down for no reason every 2 years. More than 40,000 police officers mobilized to patrol cities across the country. Since Tuesday, more than 2,000 people have been detained and more than 500 police officers and gendarmes have been injured, according to CNN calculations based on numbers released by the Interior Ministry. In Paris alone, 5,000 security personnel were deployed. Officers were given powers to quell riots, make arrests, and restore Republican order. French Interior Minister Gerard Darmanin said, what are these names, bro? Wait, what? To address extreme levels of data scraping and system manipulation, we've applied the following temporary limits. Verified accounts are limited to reading 6,000 posts a day, unverified accounts to 600 posts a day, new unverified accounts to 300 posts a day. What does a post mean? Like just clicking on a tweet? What the So if I'm on like my home page and I just start scrolling, did I just read 5? Am I using up like all of my daily tweets? That was like 10 posts I just read. Oh shit. This is per day, right? Oh man, be careful. Don't burn through your tweet rations. Jeez. In Paris alone, 5,000 security personnel were deployed. Obviously given power to okay. Overseas French stories have also witnessed protests. A man was killed by a stray bullet in Cayenne, capital of French Guyana, during riots on Thursday. Police have also detained at least 28 people in riots in Réunion, a French territory in the Indian Ocean, according to authorities there. What the f are these places? Hold on. Bro, you think I know where any of these places are? Oh, I kind of did. Why are there even islands out here? Was this like some DLC shit that I missed? It's a part of France. It's not independent. I remember when I was in Aruba, I think they have like 4 languages in this country. They speak Dutch here. They've got some weird language called Papiamento. And then there's 2 other ones that they speak as well. Oh, and they learn English and Spanish. A ton of people on this island are like quadlingual.
The entire thing is on camera. The car jerked forward and the police shot at him.
Oh, your mom actually jerked me forward. And then I shot her. Do you know what I mean? You know what I love the most about Kick Chat? You know what the best thing is about you guys? Never mind. Fuck. I was gonna say you don't have haha. Just kidding. I'm deleting that emote. Okay. No more of that shit. Rate limit exceeded. No more Twitter for me today. Apparently I read too much. Bro, what the f? Oh. Okay, hold on. This is why we need the Omni News Network, guys. I really don't like the phrasing in this article. Footage of the incident captured by a passerby showed 2 officers standing on the driver's side of the car, one of whom discharged his gun at the driver despite not appearing to face any immediate threat.
Time to move to Mastodon.
When I read that, what it says is the guy was in his car and for literally no reason, the cop just shot him. That's what this reads like. That was the impression that I got. That's not really what happened. Now, did the cops deserve to shoot the kid? Maybe not, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to, obviously we're still reading. I need to know more about the case, but this is not really an accurate summary of what happened. That is literally what I thought happened. Yeah. CNN trying to top their Kenosha coverage. Jesus. What does this mean for Macron? Macron gave himself 100 days to heal the country and reset his presidency after weeks of protests against unpopular pension reforms earlier this year. But hopes for a reset are now likely to be hampered by the widespread protests. It has not gone unnoticed that Macron attended an Elton John concert on Wednesday as cars burned and buildings were defaced across the country. The French government is working to avoid a repeat of 2005 when the deaths of 2 teenage boys hiding from police set off a state of emergency amid 3 weeks of rioting. Bro, what are you guys doing in France? Macron did cut short his attendance at a European Council summit in Brussels that had been due to last through Friday. He announced a ban on all large-scale events in France, including celebratory events.
All the discourses around the kid's death and whether it was justified or not, it's horrendous to be able to say. The driver took the brakes off and the car jerked forward when he actually starts accelerating, and you can hear it.
Well, yeah, we did hear it. It sounded like he was accelerating. You can hear the engine, right? Why do French police look like they're NASCAR drivers? What are these outfits? They're bike cops. Oh, makes sense. Okay. Motorcycle police.
Death seems justified. He was illegally driving and likely would try to run, putting others in danger.
Destiny, there's not a single country on earth that likes their police. Everyone shits on their cops. True. I mean, it's kind of true always, right? Like when you're in the military, somebody correct me wrong, but don't people shit on MPs as well? Like does anybody really like to be policed? Macron did cut short his attendance at a European Council. Okay, and then including celebratory events and numerous gatherings, and urged parents to keep their children at home, saying many of those detained were young. Macron has also called for social media platforms to help damp down the demonstrations, asking TikTok and Snapchat to withdraw the most sensitive content and to identify users who employ social networks to call for disorder or to exacerbate violence. What led to the unrest? Activists believe Nahel's race was a factor in his killing, unraveling deep-rooted tensions over police discrimination against minoritized communities in France. Secularism, known as laïcité, I have no idea. Is a key foundation of French culture as it seeks to uphold equality for all by erasing markers of indifference, including race. But many people of color in France say they're more likely to be victims of police brutality than white people. Many people of color in France say that they are more likely to be victims of police brutality than white people. A 2017 study by the rights defenders and independent human rights watchdog in France found that young men perceived to be black or Arab were 20 times more likely to be stopped by police than their peers. Accusations of brutality have long plagued French police. The Council of Europe criticized excessive use of force by state agents in a statement earlier this year during protests against Macron's unpopular pension reforms. Rights groups like Amnesty International have accused French police of ethnic profiling and have recommended a deep systemic reform to address the discrimination. The UN called on France to address deep issues of racism and discrimination in law enforcement in the agency's first comments since the killing. In a statement on Friday, a spokesperson for the UN High Commission for Human Rights urged French authorities to ensure use of force by police to address violent elements of demonstrations always respects the principles of legality, necessity, proportionality, non-discrimination, precaution, and accountability. Wow, Brills. Thanks for the tier 3 sub, everybody. The French Ministry of Foreign Affairs later rebuffed the UN's comments, saying France and its police forces fight with determination against racism and all forms of discrimination. There can be no doubt about this commitment.
Let it be known that on this day, July 1st, the beautiful DGG chat was sacrificed and replaced by a spitting Charmander. Spitting Charmander, spitting Charmander, spitting Charmander.
Stop. The use of force by the National Police and Gendarmerie, I don't know what the fuck this is. Is it like the SWAT French police or something? Or, military force with law enforcement duties among the civilian population. It's governed by the principles of absolute necessity and proportionality, strictly framed and controlled, the ministry added. Is it safe to travel to France? As peak travel season gets underway, multiple countries issued warnings to those visiting France where domestic transport networks have been disrupted. The Interior Ministry announced that public transportation, including buses and tramways, would shut down across the country by 9 p.m. local time, ahead of a fourth night of expected protests. Why do I need... I guess it's probably habit, but like... Do I really need to know in my time what time the buses are shutting down? Like they're shutting at 9 o'clock French time. What's that in EST? Like, do you really need that? Okay. Limited curfews were imposed in Clamart and Neuilly-sur-Marne, while some bus services were disrupted in Paris, but the metro system was operating as normal. The Nanterre Prefecture train station was closed. In Liège, I don't know if they do 2 L's as a Y. Bus and tramway services.
Cameras destabilized Western democracies.
True, actually. Bus and tramway services were more or less running normally on Friday, with some diversions in place. In the southern city of Marseille, public transport was due to stop services at 7 p.m. Your last name is French, you Is it really Bonnell? I feel like it could be Italian too, maybe, right? There was no disruption to the Eurostar service connecting London. Wow, Murderbits, thanks for subbing. Lié? I don't know how this is pronounced. I don't know how to pronounce any French. Paris. As a result of the protests, I only know from like people making fun of French accents, but I don't know like what's real or not. French intercity trains are also not affected. Violent protests spread across France. French authorities have arrested hundreds of people this week as protests continue after the fatal police shooting of a teenager in Paris on Tuesday. Further afield, the U.S. State Department issued a security alert on June 29th covering France, suggested monitoring media outlets France 24, RFI, and the local for updates. Meanwhile, Britain issued a travel advisory urging tourists to monitor the media and avoid areas where riots are taking place. German authorities also advised its citizens to find out about the current situation, where you are staying at, and avoid large-scale places of violent riots. Wow, guys. Make sure that anywhere you go, you avoid large-scale places of violent riots. Thanks for that one, Germany. Was shot and killed by a police officer after a car chase. Oh, hold on. Was shot and killed by a police officer after a car chase and during a traffic stop in Nanterre, a suburb of Paris, France. Authorities arrested the police officer who shot Merzouk on suspicion of voluntary homicide by a person in authority. The killing led to widespread protests and riots. A little background. Okay. Was a 17-year-old French Algerian high school student. He was enrolled at the... I'm not pronouncing these anymore. Okay. Where he attended classes for 6 months and stopped going to school to earn some money. He worked as a pizza delivery boy in Nuntere. I don't know. Just tell me. Please tell me. Dude, I don't know anymore what's real. Did they Photoshop his face to be smaller, his eyes, or is this just normal? I think it's just normal, right? I've been destroyed by memes on the internet. I can't even like accurately see reality anymore. According to a paramedic who knew Merzouk, his father left his mother before he was born. Merzouk did not have a criminal record, but he was known to the police particularly for resisting arrest, and in fact had been charged with resisting the previous weekend, and 5 times since 2021. Wait, he did not have a criminal record. Wait. I don't understand. His judicial file included 15 recorded incidents, including use of false license plates, driving without insurance, and for the sale and consumption of drugs. What? It seems like he successfully resisted, I guess. People are saying France won't prosecute minorities. Oh, he wasn't charged because he was a juvenile, maybe? Not convicted? On the 27th of June, 2023, Merzouk was driving a rented Mercedes AMG. This is a decently nice car, right? Am I crazy? This is a really nice car. I feel like AMGs are some of the cars that people recommend to me. Starts at 100K. Okay, Jesus. Wow, poor kid. Was driving a rented... It's an A45 AMG. Without a driver's license in Nuntere, a suburb of Paris. Wait, why didn't I figure out how to pronounce this? Oh, because I got distracted by that stupid Charlie Kirk picture. Oh, bro, fuck me. Okay, where were we?
Well, in France, people are rallying for a third day over the fatal police shooting of a teenager. You are seeing his mother right there, leading a tribute march. A short while ago, the boy, identified by authorities only as Nahel M, is reported to be of North African descent. The shooting happened during a traffic stop on Tuesday in Nanterre, a working-class town on the outskirts of Paris.
Did she actually say Tuesday? Can I just not hear British people anymore?
Is reported to be of North African descent. The shooting happened during a traffic stop on Tuesday in Nanterre, a working-class town on the outskirts.
Nanterre. Was driving a rented Mercedes AMG without a driver's license in Nanterre, a suburb of Paris. Merzouk was too young to possess a full driver's license, accompanying the car with 2 other passengers. Okay, so he probably didn't rent this car, I'm guessing. If he doesn't have a driver's license, he probably doesn't have good credit. Just a guess. Accompanying him in the car with 2 other passengers, Merzouk was stopped by 2 police officers at approximately 8:30 a.m. near the François Arago crossing close to the Nelson Mandela Square due to traffic violations. An initial attempt by the police officers to stop the vehicle had failed, after which he drove through a red traffic light and then drove through crosswalks, endangering a pedestrian and a cyclist. Then the motorcycle patrol was able to stop the car. On the video, both officers are standing on the driver's window, both aiming the weapons in the car. The situation seemed under control. Hectic movements are not visible. During the encounter, one of the officers, a 38-year-old brigadier, a senior enlisted French police rank, brandished a firearm while the other officer engaged in conversation with Merzouk. It was alleged by the police that Merzouk refused to comply with their instructions. In a video recording of the incident, someone can be heard saying, "You're going to get shot in the head." When Merzouk attempted to flee the scene, the brigadier shot him in the head. Fired a close-range shot into his chest. Police later claimed that they felt their lives were in danger, asserting that Merzouk had been driving towards them. Merzouk's car accelerated and collided with a nearby post. Emergency medical assistance was provided to Merzouk, but he died at 9:15 a.m. One of the passengers in the car was briefly detained by the police, but later released, while authorities continued their search for the other passenger. Merzouk rented the car through an application. Oh, he did rent the car through an application that did not require any documents. What does that mean? How do I do that? Had rented a yellow Mercedes-Benz convertible AMC through an application when he escaped the police. Wait, In popular neighborhoods, young people fear police controls and rent cars through applications which do not require documents. Nah, death seemed justified. He was illegally driving and likely would have tried to run, putting others in danger. Yeah, I mean, it seems justified to me, I think. Yeah. Unless there's something I'm missing. I guess so for you European guys, like shooting is really, really, really extreme. But like, Jesus. At Destiny, traffic violation equals death. I mean, it depends on the traffic violation. Like, you know, like vehicular homicide is like a traffic violation. Like, what do you, I mean, like...
Guessing this wiki article is a battlefield right now. Take everything with a grain of salt.
I'm surprised it's not like locked or whatever. The current content of background section is quite woke, along the lines of police is evil, Arabs are discriminated, no mentions of real context, recurrent terrorist attacks by Islamists in France, no-go zones, Arab ghettos, elevated terror threat levels for years, with military patrols in cities. The context explaining why French police get nervous in the situations the killing took place. I agree. It portrays the authorities being routinely racist against people of Arab and African descent. There's no mention of the demographics or incidents of crime in France. Post 9/11 is behind Jesus. Pretty damning, especially the part where he drives through a crosswalk with civilians prior to the stop. Yeah, it'd be interesting if there's like footage of that, I guess, to like form a better opinion about it. We're just kind of like taking the police words at face value for that. At Destiny, how many traffic violations before your life is forfeit? If you're engaged in incredibly reckless and unsafe behavior willfully, and you flee the cops once and then get pulled over, if you try to flee again, they should probably shoot you. I think that's probably fair. I think that's probably fair.
I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens.
If Caitlyn Jenner were to walk into Trump Tower and one
Gravity
of
is made by mass now. They're trying to figure out why simple.
Cool.
you would be fine with her using any bathroom she chooses.
That is correct.
In the future.
Wait, what the is this? To wrap up Pride Month, let's hear from a politician more than any other Republican to celebrate it. Bro, what is happening? Wait, can somebody find my tweet the picture that I tweeted like a few days ago? Open R Conservative to see what they're talking about. Trans agenda, Hunter Biden's cock, pride flags, Hunter Biden's cock, trans agenda. Here's how Trump can still win. Pride flags, trans agenda, school reading scores low. They banned all the books. Hunter Biden's cock, trans tits at the White House. Hunter Biden's cock. Like, it's actually, literally, like, what the
bathroom she chooses.
That is correct.
In the future, can transgender women compete in Miss Universe?
Yes.
Make America great again.
Wait, what is happening here?
I cannot think of anything more horrifying.
Why? Okay, sorry. Back to this. Wait, hello?
Hello?
Oh, hi.
Wait, I have the stream open. So, I'm here to talk about the shooting in France. Yeah?
Yeah, what about it?
So, give me your general take on it. I listened to just a bit on...
Yeah, it seems like they tried to
earlier.
pull over a kid. He was a threat to the people around him. After they pulled him over, it seems like he tried to drive off. To prevent him from driving off, they shot him. The end.
So your position is that it was justified?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, have you read that article that I sent you earlier, or not?
Which one?
The Sky News. I'll link it again on Discord.
Where are you linking this?
On the Discord channel.
Discord
Destiny's
channel.
room.
There's there you go.
Yeah, there's a chat room. Yeah, it's there.
Show chat.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Yeah, it's there.
Okay. Young man in his car shot and killed. Said there are a lot of social media to give the kind of the killing. Young man who's 17 in the car. Just
Yeah, the part that differs from the other article that you read from CNN is that there was another person in the car.
two other people, I think,
There's
right?
there's and this person, there's a statement in this article, right,
Okay.
where they say that he was hit by the other cop, and he released the brakes, right?
That sounded like
That's the
I'm
claim.
almost positive that was an engine noise we heard. I don't think it was just releasing the brakes.
Yeah, sure, but we can't really know that, right? It could be another car or.
Okay,
I agree.
Yeah,
It's-
sure.
I-
Okay,
I-
yeah. Hold
I
on.
can consider it's more likely, yeah, but-
Okay, stop. Shut the fuck up. Okay, hold on. If you want to
Go
tell
ahead,
me
yeah.
that there's like another set of unprovable facts that could change the way that I view this story, I'll agree with you. But if all you're presenting me is this, then I'm going to say, like,
Yeah.
given the facts as laid out so far, everything seemed justified. But if you're going to tell me there's a second set of facts that we can't know about right now, yeah, I mean, there's always a way that it could have.
Yeah, the reason I can consider this, of course, we can't prove it one way or the other, but the reason I lean towards this side of the story rather than the police version is that they lied about the story, right? They released a statement before the video was released saying that the shooting was in self-defense. They said that the car was
Hold on,
going
no, wait.
towards the person.
Wait. You're going to link me every contradictory statement. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't trust anything you tell me. Yeah. So.
Just, okay. Okay, there's a. It's in my history. It's in the Wikipedia article that you read also, but
Just
I'll get
link
the
it.
main source. Yeah,
Okay.
it's there. I'm gonna get the source of it. 1 second. The police have maintained that the shooting was an act of self-defense. That's what it's in the Wikipedia article.
Okay.
The
Give
source
me
is
5
the
minutes. Hold on. I'm reading this.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm just getting the source.
Wait, is this what happened? 3 police officers used their weapon on Saturday in Paris, tried to stop a car, fatally injuring a passenger and seriously hitting the driver. Is it? Did they kill the passenger, not the driver? Is
I sent you the source for the claim on the Wikipedia article.
Well,
it's in French though.
I'm reading on the first one.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, this is June 7th. Is that how long ago this happened?
The date of
2022. Why the fuck did this article link to this article? Wait, what is this article? June 27th, 2023. Oh.
I'm not. I need to pull up the stream. Sorry, I can't see it.
Okay, so this website is just. Sorry, hold on, just 1 second.
I linked the actual source. That's from the. I don't know.
Okay, you link me. I like to read what you send me. I'm not just gonna have you send me 15 things and then I read all things. So you send me the first thing.
What I'm saying.
I don't know. Whatever you say doesn't matter.
Okay.
What you sent me one thing, so I'm gonna read that thing, and then I'll click the next thing, and I'll read that thing. I don't know why you want to just shoot me headlines and have me never everything. Yeah.
Just to clear it up, I linked the Wikipedia article because it's in English, right?
Yeah.
The main source was the other journal that I. Sent.
Okay, well then you shouldn't link the article. So now I'm gonna read this.
Yeah, just read it. Okay, I'm patient. Just read it.
Okay. Okay, let me read this article. One sec. Okay, what is this supposed to prove?
I made the claim that the police said that it was a self-defense, right? That the car was moving towards them, which wasn't the case. We can see in the video that
I don't
they
know
were,
where that
on the other
statement
side.
is. So what you're probably referencing this article
Well-
is the 50-second sequence, which went viral on social networks, literally swept aside the elements of language first distilled by police sources taken up by certain media, which evoked a vehicle rushing towards two officers with the intention to crash into. Can you find me that? Give me that statement. This is referencing the statement, but I'm curious what that statement was.
Yeah.
Because the rest of this article is dog shit. The car is barely restarting. It is still rolling when a shot rings out. This didn't even happen in the video that happened. So I don't trust anything in this article. So I'm curious what the original statement was. Yeah. My hypothesis right now, and I could be totally wrong, by the way, but what it sounds like is at some point the police said this kid was a threat to us, he was a threat to other people, we shot him when he didn't comply, and then that got reported as the police said that he was a threat to them and he shot them, and then that got reported as the police felt like their lives were in danger, so they shot him, and then once that happened, we saw the video and they're like, oh, he wasn't a threat. Like, that's what it sounds like, but I don't know, I could be totally wrong. But now I'm curious to see an actual article or an actual reference to the initial police statements rather than an article referencing those statements.
I don't know how to find the actual statement from the police.
Okay, well, isn't that kind of important?
If you should look for it. Yeah, sure. I don't know. I don't know how to proceed. I don't know how to find the actual statement from the police. I don't know if it was televised, right? I'm looking for some shit in French, right? I don't know.
Well,
if you think they're outright lying about the statements, then
I don't know if they're lying. Even if they were lying, I don't think it would impact how I would feel about whether they were justified to shoot. It's obviously not good to lie, but I still think they had plenty of.
Yeah, sure. That's not what I'm saying. The reason why I brought this up is to explain why I'm siding more. I'm leaning towards more the story of the person who was there than the side of the police, right? Because if the statement did happen,
doesn't seem to
if we
contradict.
assume that the statement did happen, they lied about
Okay, but the
situation,
statements
right?
of the person there doesn't affect any of the justification for shooting him. It seems like the guy was recklessly driving. The guy did fail to stop the police earlier. The guy did run through multiple crosswalks in a red light. Then police tried to stop him, and then he tried to take off again. If all of those elements are true, I think shooting him is fine. Now, whether or not they were fighting at the car or whatever, I'm not sure. I guess there could be some line of reasoning there that makes it not okay for the cops to shoot. But I don't think anything that kid said makes me feel any differently about it.
Sure. I just think also that there's a expectation from the situation that you would have in America, for example, but you wouldn't in other countries, right? Like even if you have someone,
would have what?
For example, to be shot, right? Which was.
I'm pretty sure that in the United States, that if somebody has committed a certain type of crime and they're trying to flee, you have permission to kill them if they could be a danger to other people.
Yeah, I'm aware. Yeah.
So if the guy
sped
through a red light, and then he was apparently driving recklessly towards other people in a crosswalk, he almost hit what was like a cyclist and somebody else. Then it seems like at that point they've got really good reason to detain him. But if he tries to drive off again, they're probably going to shoot him.
Yeah, I'm doing a 24-hour road trip from Ohio to Yellowstone.
There's an expectation in America that isn't in other countries, right? It's way more lax.
Okay, sure. But then your question to me isn't supposed to be like, do you agree or disagree with this? Your question should be, do you think this comports with like a French use of force policy for the police? And then for that, I would just have to answer, oh, well, I'm not sure. But I mean, like, if the French policy is different, then that's a lot different of a question of, do you think that they should have shot him? I would say, yeah, because
That's more... Okay, yeah, just to clarify. So, you would say that you don't know if it's proper to do it in France?
Yeah, I don't know what French policy for police are.
Right, but in isolation, in just looking at the situation itself, you would say that, in your opinion, it's justified.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, that's more reasonable, I guess.
Well,
Yeah,
that
because
was-
I like I said before, I heard just a little bit of this. I wasn't really watching the stream, right? I was catching up with chat and watching just a little bit. That's more reasonable, I guess. I still disagree, but that's okay.
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 Well,
That's it.
yeah, sure. You're pretending we agree, but I'm pretty sure that we completely disagree on this. I'm
We-
pretty sure that
yeah,
you would
no,
say
no,
that like
no,
it
no,
was
no, no. I'm not
completely and
pretending
totally
we agree.
unjustified.
No, I'm not pretending we agree.
Okay.
I just said that I disagree. I didn't. I'm just saying that it's more reasonable than because I'm saying this because I don't think it's worth it to try to conquer this difference. We would have to talk about what is self-defense and our positions on it. It wouldn't be really just a conversation on the situation itself. I guess in isolation, I kind of agree, but I wouldn't agree with the use of force by the police officer in that situation.
So if they had the choice between letting him flee and shooting him, what do you think they...
I think, in my opinion, it will be better to not shoot him.
Okay, so then let's say that he flees, and let's say he gets into a fatal accident later on and he kills 2 people.
That would be horrible.
Who's liable there?
But
Do you think...
still, I would say him, right? The person driving the car. What about it?
Okay, I completely disagree. I think the police officers had the opportunity to stop him. He'd already shown that he was driving with a willful, reckless disregard for human life. If he would have escaped the police there and they let him go and they have the opportunity to stop him, and then he gets into a fatal accident later on, I would feel like the police should have stopped him. I would 100% feel like that was their responsibility. 100%. I don't know why would they would let him drive off.
To stop. I wouldn't. I wouldn't say because because they did in some way try to stop him. I do not agree with the method, right? Because he said the police officer was saying shit like, "I'm gonna shoot you in your head."
Isn't that,
Yeah.
Shouldn't he say that? Isn't that the whole point, is to put someone on notice that if you flee, I'm going to shoot you?
This goes back to what I said earlier. There's a expectation in the US and there's another in other countries, right?
Okay, but hold on. But I feel like if he didn't say it, then you would be here saying like the cop didn't even warn him. He just shot him without warning. If a cop tells you I'm going to shoot you in the head if you try to flee,
can you expand on that? Sorry, I don't see how that follows.
If this story had happened and the cop shot him without saying anything, I feel like you would be in here arguing. You'd say, how was he supposed to know the cop was going to shoot him? It's France. They rarely ever shoot people. Like, there's no way he could have known the cop was actually going to fire him. They should have given him a warning.
If the only 2 options are shoot without warning or shoot with warning, yeah, sure. What I'm saying though is that there's a different expectation, right? So
wait. What is the expectation when a cop says I'm going to shoot you in the head?
Yeah, I'm not saying that there's an expectation from saying that, parting from that. I'm saying that there's no expectation from the cop saying that, right? The cop being that aggressive, being that, I don't know how to describe it, being that...
Have a nice Saturday, everyone.
Violent, I guess.
Hard
about
hands.
it.
Mo.
Or the language.
Okay. I don't know what to say. I think he's fully 100% justified in lethal use of force there. Guy was already showing a reckless disregard for human life. Looked like he was going to continue to do so. I don't know if the cops already knew all of his prior record to that, but like he can't just be allowed to drive off without consequence.
I can see your argument if this happened in the US. I would be more towards your side if that happened in the US. I'm not with this being
what do you think
France.
So what do you think it would look like for Arabs or Muslims from Northern Africa for the police? I can already see the headlines. What, are you retarded, or do you want me to finish, or can you not see the obvious place I'm going for?
I can't, but
okay, yeah, let me finish. It's incredibly obvious to anybody that's not brain dead, right? Police pull over young Muslim Northern African male. Guy already has ran a red light. Guy pulls off and the police don't stop him. He gets into a car accident later on and kills 2 people. Like, there would be an explosion, I imagine, of people saying like, what the f***? Just because he was a minority, they didn't act properly. There are already a bunch of people in chat saying that apparently French police don't arrest or prosecute minorities. I don't know if that's true or not. But like, I feel like that story would be even more catastrophic. And then everybody like, look at the double treatment that you get between like Muslims or brown people. And like, so I feel like, I don't know, if the cops have the opportunity to stop somebody that's already shown a flagrant disregard for human life, why would you not do that even if it involves lethal action? Like,
I'm not saying that. Right, I'm not arguing the opposite of that. I'm saying that there's not an expectation of the cop being that aggressive, right?
Why do
Or
you
being
keep saying there's not that
upfront about
expectation?
it?
So should they not do anything? then,
Because
or-
do you disagree that cops in the U.S. are way more I don't know how to frame this, aggressive or blatant about it, saying shit like "I'm gonna shoot your head," and the other cop saying "shoot his head." Right? This shit
I don't
doesn't happen
understand what
in other
you're.
countries.
Okay, but yeah, but I don't know if that argument doesn't like yeah.
Because where I'm going with this is that I believe that he was fearing for his life, right? He was trying to flee.
I'm not.
I don't think he.
Gotcha. I'm not buying that one at all. But
I'm seeing it as a threat, right? A threat to his life, right? Because he was hit by the first cop, right?
okay.
So, do you disagree that it's a threat? You're not saying that.
I'm not. I'm totally not.
So someone saying, "I'm gonna shoot your head."
You've
That's not
already
a threat.
escalated the situation to that point. If you get scared at that point and you shot, you deserve to die. It's 100% on you.
He put,
I have no
he put
sympathy.
himself in that situation.
He
I agree.
He put everybody in that situation. He put the passengers in his car at risk. He put everybody in traffic at risk.
He
the
didn't.
cyclists.
He didn't force the cop to be that aggressive about
He
it.
kind of
right?
he actually in a way he kind of sort of did it.
to say I'm gonna shoot your head. No,
To
he
take
didn't.
serious action. Yeah, that's what police
Because
officers
there's
are for.
no
Okay.
serious
All right,
action
I
is
get
doing it's doing a lot of lifting, right?
What is he supposed to do?
It's
Lip
not-
punch the car?
I think still pointing the weapon is okay, but saying I'm gonna shoot your head, that's way beyond what is expected in other countries.
Okay. Anything else?
Nothing.
All right, let me be
We
careful.
still disagree, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Be
Yeah,
careful.
this is the dumbest take I've
Yeah.
ever heard in my entire life. But yeah,
What is my take? Can you summarize it?
it sounds like your take was everything that happened was fairly reasonable up until the point where the cop says, "I'm going to shoot you in the head." And
No,
if the cop
no.
would have, can I finish giving you?
No.
This is your take so far, you retard. You're saying that if a cop was standing outside the car and he pointed the gun at the dude, but he didn't say, "I'm going to shoot you in the head," then the kid might have not had the panic response and then tried to take off. That's exactly what you said. If that's not what you said, then you suck at English. So try again.
Yeah, I just said that you can rewind the VOD and see it, that he put himself in that situation, right? What I'm saying is that the cop, he probably was just fine in pointing the weapon and stopping him, right? But to be that aggressive and upfront about it and say, "I'm gonna shoot your head," right? And threaten him, that's way beyond what is expected in countries like France.
Did you honestly wait? Did you just summarize what I just told you?
No, you said that everything was okay until he threatened to shoot him. No,
But
that's not what I said.
the police actions and everything was okay up until the cop said, "I'm going to shoot you in the head."
No.
Okay.
The other cop also hit him, right?
Well, allegedly.
Escalating
We don't
the-
know if that's true or not, but allegedly.
Yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, this wasn't very productive, I guess.
Okay.
RTBA agrees with me in chat.
What?
That's-
Oh, have fun. Be careful.
Is this over?
Well, what else is there to talk about?
Nothing, I guess.
Well, then it's probably over, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, take care. I won this debate, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Have fun.
I won. It was very easy.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Luck. Bye. True.
Okay, people are saying I'm sad. I'm not sad. I just have this tone in my voice, alright?
Okay.
I'm not sad. Yeah? So stop saying it in chat,
Okay. Have fun.
or else.
Bye.
Hey, so I think them is actually just stupid, but I don't know if you're too much better when it comes to the French stuff.
Okay.
The two cops were right on top of the car, in between the car and a wall, and the guy moved forward. Like that in itself is self-defense, right? You can't just start, moving on a cop like that, especially when one has a gun pointed at your glass. You're probably getting shot there every time. I don't think it has anything to do with defense of others or anything like that. I think the movement with the cops alone justifies that guy getting shot.
I'd have to go back and look at the video, but I don't think they were right up against the wall.
I think they were hanging on the car.
No, but they don't think that. When you say against the wall, do you mean the wall of the car, or like a wall behind them?
There's a wall behind. Yeah, the wall. Yeah.
No, I don't think
I
there
don't
was.
know how close I don't know how close they were to the wall, but even still, you probably don't want to be in that position, and that elevates the thing. I mean, when you're that close to the car itself, and the guy starts taking off forward, you're probably in a real bad spot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna agree. I don't know why you'd think I would disagree with that, but okay.
Well, you just didn't bring it up, and Vim seems to think that like
the reason why I don't bring up
allegations
self-defense of the cops is because I don't think that you even need that for them to have justification to shoot. It might have been that they also had such justification for self-defense too, but I don't think you need that for them to shoot.
Well, so let me ask you this: if
ask away.
If the two cops are standing behind the car yelling orders, and he moves forward, is it justified for them to shoot?
The only reason why I'd say no, possibly, is because of firing into a vehicle. If you don't, usually beyond the vehicle, there's going to be civilians. That might not be good. But that wouldn't have anything to do with, like, do they have justification to kill the person? I would say yes, or shoot to incapacitate, yes. But the threat to potential civilians in front of them might be so great that they shouldn't fire.
Okay, so let's say that they're on like the 5 o'clock position from that vehicle, and the wall's on the opposite side of where the. You think that would be okay still?
I think so, yeah.
Huh. I would disagree, just in the fact that it's probably not a very good policy for anybody involved to start shooting at people driving away unless they're making movements trying to harm somebody else actively.
My understanding is that, like, if you're fleeing after committing or suspected of committing a violent felony in the United States, my understanding is that police officers have authorization in general to kill you before you can flee the scene. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that there's some U.S. case law that specifies shit like that.
Sure.
And each state interprets it slightly differently. I'm not familiar enough with other states or the federal. I'm only aware of my state. I don't believe that would be the case. And even then, I don't know if what they've already committed, the reckless driving would necessarily facilitate a felony charge. If it was done in my state or whatever. I think that it was definitely reckless, but without, I'm not sure. I without knowing more of, I guess it's like the Rittenhouse situation where you just have to wait and see how it plays out. But
sure. I mean, obviously, I wouldn't want to extrapolate from one situation because that's not very fair. But I will say, in this situation, it seems like it was the best outcome.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think we agree for different reasons. I think the movement of the car is...
Because I would say the good thing was that they shot and killed the suspect before he was able to get away. Like, him getting away, I think, puts things in a much scarier, where now you're in like a high-speed chase with a person with a powerful rented car who's driving recklessly already. And there's like, I feel like there's so much more risk involved to every party there, to police officers, to the passengers of that car, and then to civilians that might be involved in the chase.
So, just... intuitively, what I imagine has happened is this kid driving a nice car, acting like a jackass. They go to pull him over, and that's when the real reckless behavior of nearly hitting a pedestrian and a motorcyclist takes place.
Mm-hmm.
I doubt that happens before they initiate the stop or try to initiate a stop. So I'm torn on this. I would think that it's probably you just disengaged, kind of like a motorcyclist doing 200 on the highway. You're probably not chasing that guy because all you're going to do is get somebody killed. And for this guy,
one, that's only a few states have that policy. Number one, I think there are some states that will chase. Like I know in Florida they won't. But two, my understanding is, and I could be wrong, and I'm talking out my ass so much right now, so if someone has to Google prove me wrong, my understanding is they only won't pursue if they don't have reason to believe that you've committed like a violent crime or like a high level felony or something. So like for instance, if they clock a motorcyclist speeding and they go to pull you over and you just zip out at like 140 miles an hour, they'll just say fuck it and they'll leave you. But if people think that you just robbed a store and you zip off at 140, they're gonna chase you, they're gonna bring out the helicopters, they're gonna do everything they can to find you. But I think what
there's
matters
probably
is
some totality of the circumstances.
Or just like what did they suspect you of doing? Like they don't want to risk civilian lives for somebody that's like going to get a speeding ticket. But
no, not even just civilian. Even the perpetrator, they don't want to risk that person's life either. And I agree, but I guess that in this situation, I imagine that whatever crime that they originally tried to stop him for was probably not so. I don't know. I mean,
I know that he ran a red light, but I think that was after they'd already signaled to catch him, so I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, he was probably just doing some dumb shit, and then he got scared because he didn't have a license and took off, and then he started getting real reckless. But regardless, at the point where the video is, I think the defense of the cops is probably sufficient enough morally. I don't know about the policy of fucking France. I don't really care about that too much, but I think morally you're probably okay if you're the cop to advise him, like, you start doing some stupid shit, I'm gonna fucking pop you in the head. And then he does some stupid shit, and you do pop him in the chest. It sucks for everybody involved. Nobody, especially the whole country of France at this point. But regardless, it was probably okay, and Vim is probably just an autist.
True.